MAKAVELI in this, Illuminati, all through your body. The blows like a 12-gauge shot. We not doing that until we get this business settled. And even while we doing that, we're trying to get the Wu-Tang. I feel as though they represent the East Coast how we represent the West Coast. And I love them. Out here. So now we just gonna help some of these brothers get their money on, because we know they got talent. We got the ways to make them use their talent to the maximum effect. Death Row East is gonna be a personification of what we did on the west side. We're gonna do it to the east side.
Only Gab can do it like this. Yo, YouTube, what up? Your homie Gab, I'm in the building. Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to quit. Yo, some of y'all don't remember the impact Wu-Tang had on hip-hop. A bunch of real streeters. I'm from the East Coast, they was grimy 40 ounce, gold chain, gold fang wearing thug mofs that was 5%ers. Call each other gods and shit. Peace to the gods. Wu-Tang Clan. Yo, Wu-Tang was running hip-hop. A certain segment in the 90s. The Black Beatles when they hit the scene. And you know what get lost in the shuffle? That Tupac was about to sign the Wu. Yeah, man, Pac had the brilliant idea to try to get Wu-Tang Clan. Now, this how it was gonna work. Now, you couldn't get each member of Wu-Tang signed individually, because most of them had branched off and got not independent, but solo contracts from different labels, like Method Man was signed to Def Jam, and you had Ghostface signed to Def Jam, and you had Raekwon signed to another label, and you had the Genius signed to another label. So they spread it out and they always getting like $1 million deals. Smart motherfuckers. But Death Row could have signed them as a group, because they was on a smaller label like Loud or like RCA at the time. And you know, Suge had the idea of going in there and just straight bullying niggas and getting them contracts. Now Wu-Tang was managed by Divine. That's the RZA's brother. People don't know that. And they was going, you know, Wu-Tang was going to be the shit. Because you think about it, yo, Wu-Tang was like hip-hop Voltron. They tell you that. We formed like Voltron, and the Genius is the head. Now, the Genius is my favorite member of Wu-Tang. Lyrical fucking expert. You know, he was the leader of Wu-Tang for sure. But each one of them played their part. Just because he was the leader, you know, didn't mean he was the most important member of Wu-Tang. The most important member is the RZA. You know, the Genius was, you know, like I said, the leader, but the RZA was the most important because, you know, he was like the backbone. He was the producer. You know, I think that even the title came from him, Wu-Tang Clan. But they all played their part. Method Man was the poster boy. He was the most popular member of Wu-Tang. Meth was the shit. Straight up. Method Man was the fucking shit. He was the king of New York at one time. You know, he was the most popular MC in New York for like a year or two. So you got Meth, the Jizza, the RZA. Then you had on the street level, because Meth was like flavor, but on the street level, you had Raekwon and Ghost. You know, two of the illest MCs. You know, Ghostface got nicer and nicer and nicer. Raekwon came in the door ill. But together, they just disgusting together, you know what I mean? So you got Ray and Ghost. Then you had complimentary MCs that was still awesome. Like Inspector Deck, U-God, Master Killer. You know, and then you got Old Dirty. Old Dirty Bastard. Old Dirty was a wild motherfucker, yo. Straight up. I seen Old Dirty in a club down here we got called the Paradox with two prostitutes, one white and one black. One arm, the white one on the other arm, walking through the club with a big ass mustard stain on his shirt, yo. ODB. ODB was in Northeast Market on Monument Street by itself. That's how wild he was, you know what I mean? Old Dirty was the shit. But yeah, could you imagine you put them motherfuckers with Tupac and Death Row? Oh my goodness. Now you talk about shutting down the rap game, that would have been it. You ever see when the motherfucker playing chess, yo? And you know what he about to scream out? Yeah, that's it. That was it, man. That was checkmate. Because, like I said, Death Row had the West Coast on lock. They could have got Wu-Tang. Fucking forget about it. You know what I mean? I just wonder how the landscape of hip hop would have went if they was able to actually pull that off. Because you had the beef between Bad Boy and Death Row. You already had some animosity between Wu-Tang and Bad Boy. Because, you know, Raekwon and Biggie couldn't get along with each other. Nas got a song called Last Real Nigga Alive. And he basically explains it without telling everything. It was like major beef going on there where they could not coexist. So that would have been perfect to put them with the Death Row family. Because like I said, it was already a history of some tension between the camps. But hip hop would have been, man, but altered forever. But could you imagine the recordings? Like the Pac and the Outlaws on tracks with like Wu-Tang. Could you imagine Tupac on the RZA's beats? My goodness. Could you imagine Old Dirty Bastard wearing a Death Row chain around his neck, yo? Just wilding the fuck out. You know, I hate to do the coulda, woulda, shouldas, but god damn. When I think about it, why nobody ever talk about that shit? Death Row East, Wu-Tang Clan. I think, man, we got to talk about this shit. Can you see anything bad coming from that? Because, you know, a lot of times when I think about shit, I only think about the good possibilities because I'm a optimistic person. But I'm trying to think, what would have been like the end game? Because, all right, so if you add that up, and you know, everybody know Nas was like a member of Wu-Tang itself. Could you imagine if, you know, eventually the Nas and Pac, they worked their differences out, but all the motherfuckers would have been underneath the same umbrella? God damn. What I mean by that is the same label. So you got Tupac courting East Coast rappers. You got the Boot Camp Clique in the mix. You got Wu-Tang in the mix. They already had snatched Craig Mack. They was getting Mike Geronimo. And you know, Pac was luring motherfuckers over to Death Row East, but he was using the One Nation album. He put his arm around you, hey man, I want you on this album. But the whole time, he was recruiting. He was recruiting. You had Greg Nice. Yo, that would have been a nice little roster. And would have been East Coast hip hop. And that's more importantly because he was getting the MCs. He was getting MCs, yo. I mean, Wu-Tang was a bunch of MCs. But they was thorough motherfuckers, like I said. But tell me what you think. You know, I got the head. Do you think it would have worked? Would Death Row would have been able to keep all of these different individuals, you know, happy? But they, you know, with the East Coast, West Coast beef would have went in a different direction. If Wu-Tang would have, you know, been able to come over to Death Row and Death Row was successfully able to launch Death Row East in the middle of New York City, what they would have did to hip hop? Tell me what you think. Got to ask y'all first. Oh yeah, and before I forget, let me share a little piece of hip-hop history with y'all. You know, my old manager, J.T. Thomas, and a producer from here named Sean Green that did some work for Blue Raspberry. She sung on Method Man's song, "When I First Stepped on the Scene, Niggas Was Petrified." Well, anyway, we got invited up to New York to a Genius album release party, right? And it was just the dopest shit ever. It was mind-blowing. One of the things that caught me, one of the things I remember the most is that how humble the Genius was. It was his album release party, and I swear he sat in the back, in the corner. All these industry people there, other big name rappers, you had media there, you had people taking pictures. He had a white sweatsuit on, he just sat in the corner the whole night. So me being a kid, I was a teenager, I went and sat next to him. We got to talk the whole night. Me, him, and Tyson what's his name, Beckford, sat in one spot. And Tyson told me he had 2 pit bulls, a little brown one and a big tan one. And guess what their names was? Pac and Suge. That's some crazy shit. But I also remember, man, kicking it with Q-Tip, man. Q-Tip was a cool motherfucker. You had Sons of Man there. Method Man showed up. Method Man was Hollywood. Method Man showed up in a limousine at at the Genius release party. But Meth was a cool motherfucker, yo. I mean, real chill person, man. He remind me of my big brother Marshall. And the thing that stuck out to me the most, man, was ODB's mom was there. She had like a white like little dress outfit on, and a bunch of little kids with her. They was telling me they was Old Dirty Bastard's cousins. And when he came in, she was like, "Russell." She didn't call him ODB. She was like, "Russell, come here." Just a real, you know, memorable night, man, that I wanted to share with y'all. I'll never forget that as long as I live. But anyway, oh yeah, and I can't forget, you know, one of the members of Wu-Tang getting his jewelry snatched. I think it was the RZA or something like that. I think they said it happened at Club 662. Well, anyway, Pac and Suge got his jewelry back. So, they, you know, they already had, you know, some communication between each other, you know. But I want to know what you guys think. How do you think it would have worked, man, if Death Row could have got Wu-Tang Clan? That would have fucked the whole music industry up. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. Shit would have been lit. You know what I mean? How you think that would have worked out, though? I mean, with Tupac being at Dawn, you know, MAKAVELI being at Dawn and Set Strong, egos and personalities underneath him or working with him, you know, would they had bumped heads? Would they had all got together, you know, one thug, one love, one nation? Or, you know, it would have been chaos. But they had ran dudes out the rap game, you know what I mean? I don't know how this would have looked. I need y'all to paint the picture for me, all right? But more importantly, I need you guys to like this video. I need you guys to share this video. And I need y'all to subscribe if you ain't already with the tribe. You feel me? And anyway, this your homie Gab. It's been a pleasure as always. Before I sign off with the peace, I'm about to say Tupac for life, Wu-Tang forever. It's been a pleasure, y'all. One love.
MAKAVELI in this Illuminati, all through your body. The blows like a 12-gauge shot.